I'd like to now talk about public information statements, local storm reports, and how to access our weather briefings. So we often get phone calls from media partners asking after a snowstorm, oh, how much snow fell in the Berkshires or how much snow fell in the Mid-Hudson Valley. All of the storm reports we get in terms of snowfall and rainfall measurements, and even temperatures and wind speeds, that can be usually summarized and found in our public information statements. So in order to access that, there's two ways. First, you can go to Climate and Past Weather and then go to Public Information Statement, and you click on that, and that brings you here. Here, for example, is a summary of the strongest wind gusts that occurred in our area over the past 12 hours. It kind of tells you here, this is 10 hours actually. And it tells you the date, and then a summary of all the weather station data that we've received, the wind gust miles per hour, the location, and then the source, and then the date. So that's all documented right here. And then in addition, you can go past in time just to show you what it looks like. Here is a snowfall summary. So you can see we have our source, we have our snowfall amount, we have our county. All that is documented right here. And if you need more information, we actually have metadata at the bottom where we have the latitude and longitude provided for each of the weather stations. So if you need to plot this in GIS or Google Earth, that data down here is available. And of course, if we issue, say, a wind chill advisory, let's see if I can find one. If we issue, let's say, a wind chill advisory or here's one, wind chill. We issued a wind chill advisory, then we would provide a summary of temperatures. So again, if you want to know about temperatures, some of the coldest temperatures from across the area, all of that is here. And the same would go if we issued a heat advisory or a wind chill warning, things like that, all the temperature related products, the summary, just to verify that our product was worth issuing, then all that data is available in the public information statement. So if we go back to our local web page, I also would like to show you a second way to get to the public information statement. Scroll down, if you go to weather hazard briefing, look there. Scroll down and you click on storm reports. So here we go. We have public information statement and local storm reports. So local storm reports, this product is most useful if you want to know about specific damage that might have occurred due to, say, floods or strong winds from either a windy day from a storm system or from windy conditions or strong winds from thunderstorms. This report gives you information directly from emergency managers, 911 centers, if we get it from highway departments, public information, or excuse me, from the public or from social media. All of that is documented in what we call a local storm report. So for example, last night we had issued a wind advisory, and this is a report that came in that showed we had a large pine tree came down on 2 cars and led to significant damage. And that was in Ulster County, Saugerties. That came from a newspaper, and we issued that local storm report, and that came through at 1 a.m. So here's another one that came in. We have a road that was closed due to downed trees and wires. So you can see the events where it says non-thunderstorm wind. That's usually from windy conditions. Maybe we have a cold front that came through and we had very strong winds behind it. So non-thunderstorm pretty much means any strong wind that led to damage that wasn't related to a thunderstorm, kind of how it sounds. So that's there if you need that information. And local storm reports are also issued, as I mentioned before, for flooding events. So if we received information that a certain road was closed due to flood waters, we would document that here in the local storm report. So while we're here, you probably noticed this image, latest weather briefing PDF. What is that? So what this is, when we have a weather event that's ongoing or upcoming, we will issue a detailed weather briefing, which is a set of PowerPoint slides, and issue those for our partners. And that is available right here on our webpage also for the public to view. And this information gives you some detailed details that you may not find just from looking at the point and click. So we do try to provide areas of greatest confidence. So for example, if we are predicting a winter storm warning, and we have the winter storm warning in effect, and we have the greatest confidence of maybe a foot of snow occurring in a certain region, well, we will highlight that region maybe in our weather briefing. Or if we have uncertainty about how far north will the mixing line expand, that will be discussed here in our weather briefing. So this is a really great set of slides for you to view for an upcoming or ongoing weather event. Right now, we don't have a weather briefing ongoing. We haven't issued one, and that's why this blank page is here. But if we did issue one, then this section would be updated and reflect that PowerPoint. Then down here, we have the area forecast discussion. I would encourage everyone to take a look at this. This is really an opportunity for you to get into the mind of the meteorologists who prepared your local weather forecast. Here's where we can discuss uncertainties and areas of greatest confidence. I'll give you details about what type of weather system we're expecting, information about timing, uncertainties for a precipitation type perhaps. Locations, we'll actually specifically mention certain locations right here. So if you want to get into the mind and kind of really read and understand what the meteorologists who prepared your forecast, what were they thinking when they prepared and issued your winter storm warning or flood advisory or whatever it is, you can read the area forecast discussion and really get some more information that you may not get just by reading your point and click. So we have three main sections. First is the near term, which usually goes for the next 12 hours. Gives you kind of a weather summary of what's going to happen for the next, say, 12 hours. The short term is for the next 1 to 3 days. And then the long term, this is for usually days 4 through 7. So that's kind of what to expect maybe next week or kind of in the long term. So this section usually has more general terminology just because we don't have as great of confidence for the long term, but for the near and short term, we have usually greater confidence, and this will be given more details, and then typically the long term is in more general terms. And then in addition to those sections, we have aviation. We have a discussion for our aviation partners, and then we have our fire weather discussion and hydrology if we're expecting any flooding. So all of that is available for you. So if you want more information, you want to really get into the mind of the meteorologists who prepared your forecast and really know what they're thinking, this is a great product for you to visit. So another product I like to discuss is something called the Weather Story. This is a relatively new product. It just was released in the fall. This product is great if you want to know, okay, what is the main headline for today? What is something that I really should be keeping an eye on? Quick and easy access. I want to know just quick and easy, what is the point of the weather today? What should I be really keeping a close eye on? Visit the Weather Story for that information. It's updated at least once a day, typically early in the morning around 5 or 6 a.m., but it also can be updated again later in the day if we feel it's necessary. So for this example, we actually for today did update it at 4:30 p.m. This is a product that we issued to discuss strong winds and snow squalls that are coming tomorrow. So here we give a brief kind of summary of what to expect. And then on the bottom, we do have a text summary to supplement the graphic. But really, Weather Story, that could be a one-stop shopping, quick, what is the message of the day? Boom, read it. And then if you want to dive into the details, you can visit your point and click. But if you just want something short and sweet, the Weather Story would be a great first stop